Hey, what up, guys? TJ here. Sorry about that minor mishap just a couple of minutes ago. I'm trying to reduce this overexposure on my face here. I've got this window blocked off on the side, but it looks like it's coming from the window behind me. So just tried to block out that sun a little bit and went live by mistake just for a few seconds there. So sorry about that. But here today, coming at you live from Silverthorne, Colorado for the weekly Monday 2 p.m. Mountain Standard Time live stream. What up, guys? What up, Erica? Glad you could hop on. What's up, Aiden, T-Call? All looking familiar names there. Glad you guys could hop on today. Um, what's up, Chris Wells? No bad day. Good to see you, man. Marcos, Max, Danny. Oh, man, so many people. Awesome to see you guys. So a couple things I like to say just at the beginning here. As you're leaving your comments, if you could let me know where in the world you're joining us from. I think it's really interesting to see where everyone is from. Also, go ahead and start leaving those questions down in the comments. I'm going to be scrolling up, trying to get to those questions, get to as many questions as I can for you guys. So go ahead and start dropping those. We'll start getting into that here in a little bit. Couple of updates as far as what's been going on with Board Archive and SnowboardProCamp lately. So as you guys might know, I work at Evo over in Denver. And I've had a bunch of clinics this week. Got a bunch of 2018 product coming in. And so just kind of meeting with all the reps, talking about all the new product, getting familiar with everything, maybe recapping on some of the stuff from last season. So that's been going on, keeping me pretty busy, going back and forth from Denver to Silverthorne. But it's really cool getting to see all the new product firsthand. As far as content and other things go, Arapahoe Basin opened here in Colorado just last Friday, so I was out there for opening day. I'll be back out there a whole bunch up until the major resorts open. We got Breck opening November 10th, Keystone also opening November 10th. Whistler will be open soon, so working on getting some trips planned out with Kevin, hoping to head up to Whistler at least a couple of times this year. And Kevin is going to be coming to Colorado too, I believe, and just all kinds of good stuff in the works. So that's going down. I actually have a video that's going to be uploaded later today. It's going to be the vlog I've talked about mountain biking through the Golden Aspens here in Colorado. So it came together pretty good. I hope you guys enjoy it. It's the first time I've made a video that's that style. And I'm also going to be dropping another top 5 video tomorrow. And then hopefully another one this week too. So as the title of this video says, the top butter boards, that's going to be the next top 5 video to come out tomorrow if everything goes to plan. And then the one after that is going to be top 5 snowboards for riders with bigger boot sizes. So I hope you guys find some value in that. I've seen a lot of questions on those two coming through the comments over the last season. So got some answers coming for you guys. And I guess last couple of things, what I got back here, Dragon sent me some goggles, which I'm really hyped on. So got the X1's spherical lens I'm going to be rocking this season. Got another pair of NFXs with the Dragon Luma lens tech. So really excited to try that out. Kind of similar to Oakley Prism and Smith Chroma Pop. Should be pretty sick. I used them first downhill and they're really solid. So also got some shades here. I'm pretty stoked on the Dragon, the Jam shades. They're pretty sick. Both really large fitting, which is kind of what I like. So and then we also got the K2 Maysis boot back here, 2018 K2 Maysis. So I'll take a break here after we get some questions answered, and we'll talk about that boot for a little while. So I'm gonna go ahead and scroll up here, start checking out some questions. Another reminder, guys, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please just go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. It's going to let you guys know anytime that we go live on the channel, anytime a video is uploaded, you'll know right away, be able to stay on top of that. So appreciate it, guys. All right, so per usual, got a lot of hellos up at the top here. What's up, Danny, Lawrence, Bill, James, what up, guys? We got Lucifer Morningstar with us today. He says, hey TJ, how was opening day? Have you tried the Solomon Assassin? I demoed it at the weekend. Since getting my Fun Slinger, it's the only other board I've liked. Awesome, man. Yeah, the opening day was pretty crazy. The lines were really intense. I was like over 20-minute waits in line. I actually only went through the lift line twice, and then they had a little preseason park set up, so I was just hiking some rails up there most of the day. It was a lot of fun. I was actually out there solo. All my friends bailed on me. They didn't want to deal with the crowd, so I wasn't really able to film. But I did get a photo out of it, and you know, it's nice being on snow. So got to hit the park a little bit, got to do some boarding. Definitely enjoyed it. As far as the Solomon Assassin goes, I actually have not been able to try the Assassin yet, but it's actually really, really high up on the list. It's one of the most requested boards that you guys are asking about. Also a really, really popular board from Solomon. So I'm fairly close with the Solomon rep here in Colorado, so I'm hoping to be able to try out all the Solomon boards I haven't been able to try yet. We got some content coming out on the Huck Knife soon, and I'm hoping to redo the Villain this year as well. So all that'll be coming, man. Thank you for the question. All right, so I think I saw a super chat come through. So I'm going to try to find that here. If you guys don't know, this is a super chat. So underneath the chat there, you have the option to make a donation to highlight your comments and make sure that I see it. So if you have a question that you really want to get answered, or if you just want to donate to the channel and help us out, you have that option available for you guys. All right, so we got a $10 super chat. Thanks so much, man. Coming from MAR Fishing. Hey TJ, name's Mario from North Carolina. I tried to ask last week, but I was thinking about getting a park board this season. I currently ride a 158. I'm 5'11", about 210. Would a 156 be too small? I don't think so, man. So really, you know, you might be kind of on the upper end of that weight range with a 156 depending on the board that you go for. But I think a 156 is going to be way more maneuverable for you. You know, at 5'11", I'm 5'10". I ride around a 154, 155. And most people think that's actually pretty long for me for a park board or a freestyle focused snowboard. But I really like that 154, 155 size range. I'm 5'10", right around 150. So I would just get a little bit of a burlier board, but the 156 is going to be really maneuverable. It'll still be fun outside of the park too, but it's not going to be quite as stable as your 58. I definitely, I will have some content coming out on some freestyle boards, recommending some here soon as well. So keep your eyes peeled for that. I think that'll help you out. Or if you want to hit me up on Instagram, just shoot me a DM and I can recommend some boards for you, give you a more detailed answer. I really appreciate that super chat, man. I'll keep an eye out for you. Instagram @BoardArchive. If you want to shoot me a DM, I'll be checking it today and tomorrow to see if you send me anything, and maybe I can recommend some specific boards for you. All right. So we have Vlad Sharapov asking Evo ? Yes, evo.com. Awesome website to check gear out. They got all the 2018 stuff either already in or available for pre-order. Got a whole bunch of last season stuff. And yeah, they have a flagship store over in Denver. I've been working with them since they opened in Denver there. Helped build all the racks in the back and everything. So I just really think Evo is a great company. I really enjoy working for them. You know, a very transparent company. Like, I'm on a first name basis with the CEO as well as all of the other employees. It's not just like exclusive to me. Like, he's just a really stand-up guy. It's a really great company. So yeah, check them out, evo.com. Got a lot of good gear on there. And just so you guys know, another way to support the channel is under basically in the description of every single video that we put up on the channel. There's going to be links in the description showcasing the gear that we've used in that video. And most of them are going to go to Evo. So if you end up buying anything after clicking one of those links, it also helps to support the channel at no additional cost to you. So that's probably the most convenient way if you're going to be buying something online anyway. So we appreciate that. But yeah, good little moment there to interject and talk about Evo. All right. Let me get back up there. I don't want to be skipping any questions. I'm going to try to kind of go down from the top so I don't miss many questions here from you guys. Jur Govertz asked, Battalion Evil Twin versus Capita DOA. Interested in your thoughts? Oh man, those are both really solid boards. As you guys know, I'm a big fan of the Capita DOA. I did list it as one of my top 5 do-it-all snowboards. It was the first one I put on the list there. Really, really solid snowboard. The Evil Twin is going to be pretty comparable, honestly. But I'm actually going to be throwing the Evil Twin in a different list. You guys will see that pop up. That's going to be my personal board this year. Honestly, man, they're pretty dang similar. I think that the DOA is definitely more poppy. It's got a different side cut. It doesn't have the 3BT like the Battalion has. But I think the Evil Twin is a really solid jump board. For freestyle, I'm going to be using it as a jump board, trying to hit these oversized jumps out in Colorado and kind of get over some of my mental barriers I've had over the last couple seasons. And I think that board's really going to help me out, just having that forgivingness that the 3BT adds. So I'm really excited about it. There's going to be a lot of great content coming out on that board this year, so keep your eyes peeled, man. But yeah, I think the DOA is definitely more poppy. It's one of the poppiest boards I've ever ridden. It's really fun for carving. But the biggest thing is going to be just that kind of regular snowboard kind of shape versus having that 3BT, if that's something that you want. And definitely, I don't have a written review for the Evil Twin up right now, but check out the written review for the DOA. That might help you out a little bit too, man. Mr. All Gaming, have you gone to A Basin yet? I sure have, man. Was there on Friday. It's a lot of fun. If you're in Colorado, hope you guys are making it out. I'll be back again this week. Got John McCoy from New Hampshire on the stream with us. What's up, man? Turtle Zed watching from the UK. Got Jur Govertz from Amsterdam. What's up, guys? So cool to know where you guys are from. I hope you guys are talking in the chat to each other as well. I just really love the community aspect we have going here. So cool to see that, guys. All right, Blaz asks, which snowboard is good for all mountain snowboard? So definitely check out the recent video on the channel, top 5 do-it-all snowboards. I chose to kind of name them do-it-all versus all mountain just to be really clear what kind of boards we're talking about. But I threw the Capita DOA, the Arbor Iguchi Pro, the Lobster Sender or Battalion whatever on there, as well as the Burton Custom. So make sure to check out that video. There was another board on there too, but for some reason I am blanking on that right now. Sorry, guys. But check out the video. Hope you guys like it. There'll be a bunch more of those coming out this month. We got Hida on the chat with us from Finland. That's what's up. Marius from Sweden. Awesome, guys. All right, Matt Wynn asks, what do you think about Jones boards? I think Jones is a really solid company, man. I actually went with the Jones Explorer Split for my split board. It's been really solid. And honestly, I think Jones is kind of like the go-to company if you're looking for those kind of, getting out to explore, hunting for powder, more all-mountain, free riding, getting off the groomed slopes and getting into the trees, getting into the back bowls. Highly, highly would recommend Jones snowboards for that style of riding. The Flagship is one of my favorite freeride boards that I've ridden so far. So a couple of things about Jones. Most of their boards are going to be camber with a little bit of rocker in the tips. And on a lot of their boards, they actually spoon out the nose and tail. So even though the Flagship, for example, and the Hovercraft too, even though they're pretty stiff, You can still do butters and stuff with them, and they're not quite as catchy because of that spooned out nose and tail. Also, it's going to help float and powder more. So that's going to be another big thing with Jones. Big focus with all their boards is going to be providing a board that's going to do well in powder. Even the Mountain Twin, which is going to be a twinish board that rides the same in both directions. So really like Jones, highly recommend checking them out. I'm hoping to get on a bunch of their boards as well as Yes boards, and maybe some Flash too this year. So hopefully you guys will see some content, some video content coming out on those guys. Patrick R says, just pulled the trigger on the Evil Twin. Going to use it as a playful all-mountain board paired with the switchback bindings. Did I make a solid choice? Heck yeah, man. That sounds amazing. I think, for a playful kind of all-mountain board, the Evil Twin is perfect. Definitely, you'll be able to throw any kind of freestyle aspect into your riding that you want to on that thing. Still sturdy enough to be cruising around at high speeds. It is a true twin, so that's going to be a little bit limiting in powder, but for the most part, it's going to be really, really good, really versatile, and then you can always take it into the park if you want. It's going to perform really well there as well. So awesome choice, man. I can't wait to get on mine. I'm probably going to wait until Breck and Keystone open and we have a pretty solid base and park setup. But I'll be on it soon, guys. I'm stoked. All right. M7JNU asks, hey TJ, what's the best way to build confidence and go fast on a snowboard? Great question, man. So my 2 cents would be, just kind of get the basics down where you can do, them like the back of your hand and just slowly work your way up. But I will say Kevin actually did make a video specifically on this topic, which is cool because it's kind of an obscure topic. But how to gain more confidence as a snowboarder, check out the channel, do a search on there for that video. I think that will really help you out, man. Thanks for the question. All right, so Dallas Boot asks, how do you, quote, get in shape for the season? Cardio, weightlifting, or what do you do? We hit a lot of powder last year. My legs were really sore for a couple of weeks. Watching from Arkansas. Awesome, man. Thanks for hopping on. So personally, I don't do any kind of like weight training. I totally could see, if you're going to be traveling to like ride powder from like Arkansas or something, why you might want to do that, just because you're only going to get maybe, 2 or 3 weeks on snow. So just having your body ready for that is obviously going to help you out. I would say, the biggest thing is going to be building up some like endurance in your legs as far as what will help you out with that. I just ride a bunch and I'm really sore for like the first month of the season. And then, your legs kind of get used to it. And I feel like as snowboarders, all of us kind of have that like bulkier back leg than front leg. It just kind of happens naturally. So I think that's the best way, just ride a bunch. But maybe do some leg weight training in the gym and get that, maybe some cardio as well to really get in shape. Cool, man. Thanks for the question. Kelvin Rosario watching from New Jersey. What's up, man? Okay, Davius111 asks, what's your favorite splitboard boot? So I really just kind of use my one boot to do everything. So previously I've been on the 32 TM2. I think it's a really great boot, really versatile, definitely a stiffer flexing boot, but since it is the standard lace, you kind of have that customizability where you can kind of change how firm the boot feels on every individual rung as you're lacing it up. This year I'm going to be on the TM3, which is going to be a little bit softer. But if you're looking for a good splitboard boot, I would say the Jeremy Jones XLT is going to be a really solid one. Crampon compatible, really, really rigid boot, going to be very responsive as you're out there. Definitely a higher end boot, so it's not going to be a cheap one. But check out the 32. It's the TM2 XLT. Check that out. Crampon compatibility is probably the coolest thing about that boot, in my opinion, or one of the coolest things. They changed a bunch up for 2018 too. All right. So, Mr. All Gaming, did you go to A Basin? What day did you go? I was there opening day. That's the only day I've gone so far, but I plan on heading out this week again, probably on Wednesday. It's looking like the day I'm going to be out there, but maybe not though. I don't have it 100% dialed in yet. Just one day this week I'll be out there again. All right. Teeman Storm asks, hey TJ, joining you from the Netherlands, and I'm about to go to Austria this winter to become a snowboard instructor. I'm also coming to Whistler for 6 weeks for an off-slope camp. What's a good board for me? Honestly, man, if you're going to be an instructor, I would just, if you have to have one board, I would recommend those top 5 do-it-all boards again. If you want to check out that video on the channel. I know Kevin rode the Burton Process for a long time. I'm not sure what board he was on while he was instructing, but probably just something that's going to be good, you know, for like the majority of the stuff you're going to be doing, which I imagine as an instructor, a lot of time is going to be spent on groomers and stuff. But, you know, you want to be ready for those POW days and stuff as well. So check out those 5 boards in that video. I think those will be good options for you. All right. All right, guys, I'm going to scroll down a little bit here. Looks like you guys are having a little bit of a conversation in the chat. That's awesome. Like it. I like to see that. We got one dude talking about something that's not so cool. If you guys, I think you guys are able to delete comments that are inappropriate. So if you guys see anything weird, please feel free to do that if you can. Hey, what's up, Chris? Glad you could make it on, man. Just came here to hear TJ's soothing voice. Oh, man. I'm glad you think it's soothing because I think my voice sounds weird, as I'm pretty sure everyone does. I'm kind of used to it now, though, with all the videos I've made, but it's still a little weird. All right. T. Garner 117. DOA 2018 versus Jibsaw for doing a little bit of everything with a bit more time spent carving, but the freedom to do butters and hit the park. Definitely the DOA, man. The Jibsaw is sick, but and it has the magna traction, which is cool. The Capita DOA doesn't have that, but I found the tips to be really playful in the Jibsaw, so it's really good, way better than I thought for doing presses and stuff like that. And it does hold a solid edge. It is fun for carving, but personally I think the DOA is just a little bit more aggressive, but you can still hit the park and get those presses and stuff if you want on the DOA. I like the side cut a little bit more on the DOA as well. I thought that was just really fun for ripping turns at higher speeds. But honestly, man, you'll be fun either way. Just know that the Jibsaw is more playful in the tips than the DOA. It has more rocker in the nose and tail. All right. Nolan Massey with the $2 super chat. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Xanadu. Kevin and Chris starting the Xanadu trend. Yeah, if you guys are ever out riding and you find a really sick zone, you can just holler out Xanadu. That's what we do anyway. All right, David, a different David Jones from Canada joining us today. What's up, man? All right, so we got V-Coat Official asking, TJ, my girlfriend rides with Vans Encore boots and now looking for something stiffer as her riding is more advanced. Park riding and off slope when she can. What do you recommend as a stiffer boot? Man, there's one boot that, I guess there's 2 boots that I would really recommend, but the first one, I would say check out the K2 Contour. That's going to be pretty comparable to the other one I'm going to mention, except it doesn't have a double BOA. So basically on the Contour, you're going to get a Vibram sole, you're going to get an articulated cuff, it's a BOA system, fully customizable Intuition liner. It's actually pretty similar to the Maysis, which I'll talk about later. And K2 puts what they call the Conda system in their boot. So there's a piece of plastic on top of your ankle. When you crank down the BOA on the side, it pulls down from the top of your foot to hold your heel down. Solid mid-flexing boot. I would recommend that one. Also, the Ride Cadence. That's the one I would really recommend. It's going to have a Michelin Snow Tread compound sole on it, so you're actually going to have the Michelin Snow Compound tire tread on the sole of your boot. You get the articulated cuff as well. It's a true double BOA boot, so you're going to get the independent upper zone and lower zone control as you're lacing it up. You You get the fully customizable Intuition liner, and the Cadence actually has an adjustable calf strap as well. So that's a common thing, you know, with ladies. Very really diverse leg sizes around the calf. So if it's feeling tight around there, you'll have the option to loosen up that calf pressure with the Cadence. So I would check that out, the Ride Cadence and the K2 Contour, man. Thank you for the question. I sell a bunch of those in the store, and people love them. I will say the Contour is going to be a little bit of a wider fit versus the Ride, but they're both really, really solid boots, man. So I hope that helps you out. All right, we got a lot of comments here. We got a bunch of you guys just kind of chatting with each other. All right, we got Alex White 78 asking, freestyle board for big guys, feet and weight. Awesome question, man. So as I mentioned, after this next top 5 comes out, the top 5 butter boards, the one after that, which will hopefully be out this week as well, definitely will be out this week, is going to be on the top 5 boards for bigger dudes or riders with bigger feet. So we'll definitely have some recommendations in there for you. Depending on how tall you are or what kind of weight range we're talking about, the Ride War Pig could actually be a really good option. This is the 154, which is the biggest size that they make. It's got a 27 centimeter waist width, so it's super, super wide for being a 154 especially. That is the biggest size that they make it, so if you're like over 6 foot, that might be a little short for you. The Battalion Goliath comes to mind. The Libtech Skunk Ape is going to be another good one. So check those out. But in the meantime, that video is coming out soon for you, man. All right, so Andrin Z asks, what are your thoughts on the Battalion Global Warmer and the triple base technology? Awesome question, man. So I actually haven't been on the Global Warmer personally yet, but if I'm remembering correctly, I think it's a little bit stiffer than the Fun Kink, but a little bit less rigid than the Evil Twin. It probably has a different 3BT profile as well, but that's kind of where it fits in the line, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. And as far as the 3BT goes, I think it's awesome, man. So as you guys know, I'm going to be on the Evil Twin this year, and it's the main reasons I'm getting that board is because of the flex. It's full regular camber, and it has that triple base technology. So I'm going to get that extra forgivingness on jumps, which is what I'm going to be mainly using it for. The triple base technology is also really, really good for butters and presses, and is just overall insanely catch free, especially for being a camber dominant board. So I'm a fan of it. I think if Battalion threw additional contact points on their board, like magnet traction, or just did their own in-house version of something, they'd be like the top boards around for everything. So hopefully we'll see that in the future, but for now they're still really sick even without it. All right. Answer a couple more questions here, and then talk about some of the stuff behind me for a couple minutes. All right, so Jtron asks, what do you think about the Burton Flight Attendant? So I have ridden the Flight Attendant briefly. I'm definitely planning on spending a good amount of time on it this season, or at least a day or two. Definitely going to have a video on it for you guys. We actually talked about it recently. I was talking about it recently with our local Burton rep here in Colorado, and it's actually a pretty incredible snowboard. So the way they designed it, just a quick tidbit on the Flight Attendant here, the way they designed it was that if you're on like a groomer where you're pushing down on the snow, the board behaves one way. It kind of behaves like a twin because that setback camber, so it has a setback camber and rocker in the nose, right? So that setback camber, when you compress it, it's going to poke up that nose, that rocker in the nose, especially like more than it would be when it's not weighted. So it's going to kind of feel like a twin board, even though it does have a longer nose, because it kind of almost pulls back the contact point because of that rocker in the nose. But then when you're in powder and the powder's pushing up on the board versus you pushing down on the groomer, that rocker nose is going to come into play. So actually pushes the contact point forward, so it feels like you're riding a longer snowboard, you're going to get that extra float and powder. So it's pretty incredible, honestly. I think they call it, it's something free ride geometry, some real technical thing Burton did in the design. But when I learned all that about it, I was like blown away. It made me really, really want to try the board again. Just even thinking about, you know, how the board performs when you're on a groomer, pushing down on the snow versus in powder where the snow's pushing up on the board. It's pretty genius, and I really want to try it on groomers and in some powder. So hopefully that'll be coming this year. Hope that answers your question, man. Thank you. I'm glad I got to talk about that. I thought that was really, really interesting. I just learned that recently. All right. So I'm just going to scroll up here and make sure I didn't miss any super chats or anything as I was scrolling down. X Pantera 13X with the €2 super chat. No question. Appreciate it, man. Thanks for the donation. Thank you, guys. Let's see. Make sure we're not missing anyone else here. Man, so many comments already. Thank you, guys. It's amazing. See Chris pretty active in the comments there, chatting it up with you guys. Good to see you here, Chris. So I'm scrolling up quite a ways. I haven't hit that first super chat yet, but I'm not seeing anything. Erica Constantino with the $2 super chat. Thanks, Erica. Cool. So that's actually, you guys have put in so many questions that I can't scroll up anymore, and I'm not at the top. So thank you. That's awesome. I'm going to scroll back down, and I'm just going to start picking off questions from the bottom. All right. So Cozy Attic asks, what do you wear for those negative days mid-season? Great question, man. It reminds me of my time in Whistler last year. I was in Whistler for a couple weeks at the beginning of January, and it actually didn't get above 10 degrees Fahrenheit for 4 full days. It was crazy. It was like the coldest riding I've ever done. It was like kind of really intense. So what I wore is I'm actually a pretty big advocate for the Air Blaster Ninja suits. If you guys don't know what those are, I'll throw a link down in the description once the live chat's over, so you guys can check that out if you'd like. But the Ninja suit is basically like a one-piece base layer, and it has a hood. You can get it hooded or hoodless, but it's super, super warm. You know, I could literally wear the Ninja suit with just like my shell jacket and pants on like a 30-degree day, and I'd be totally fine. So on a day where it's like 10 degrees Fahrenheit out, or like in those negative Celsius temperatures, I think the Ninja suit's awesome. Definitely make sure you get some really warm gloves, maybe even some liners for your glove. If you're wearing a full face mask, maybe even 2 face masks, or like a balaclava with a heavy face mask over it. Definitely wear a beanie, helmet, just layer up, man. And maybe, you know, if you're unsure if you're going to be warm enough, maybe step outside the night before in your gear, hang out for like 15 minutes, because you're not moving, you're going to cool off pretty quick, and that way you could kind of test it out. So hope that helps you out, man. So Phil Shack talking about how I threw out that 10 degrees Fahrenheit. So that was the warmest that it got during that 4-day period. So it was definitely below 0 Fahrenheit while I was actually out there riding or at night and stuff. So it was really cold, man. It was intense. All right. So Xander Evans, what are your thoughts on the Burton Instigator snowboard? So I think you're referring to the Never Summer Instigator, which is part of their Shaper series. So last year, Never Summer did a late release on a bunch of snowboards that have really surfy, wide shapes. That was one of them. I'm hoping to get on it this year. I'd really like to get some content out on it. I think a lot of those wider boards are a ton of fun. I would say it's probably pretty similar to like the War Pig, or like the Party Platter, that style of board, if you want to check out those reviews. But I haven't been on it yet, man, but I'm hoping to get on it soon. All right, guys, so we're right at 34 minutes here. We got 114 people live with us. Thank you guys so much. I'm glad you guys are all here hanging out with me. Good to see you guys. I'm going to take a minute here and just talk about this K2 Maysis snowboard boot. So I have helped a ton of people get fitted for this boot. Like, I've probably sold over 30 pairs in person over the last year, just because it just fits people really, really well. It works for the majority of foot shapes. Most people think it's just really, really comfortable, and it comes in at a really solid price point too. So MSRP is going to be $300 on this boot. You might be able to find some last seasons on evo.com right now going for around $210. I'll have a link in the description for that as well for you guys. But just a quick rundown on this boot. It's going to be kind of similar to the K2 Contour I was talking about earlier. So you got the BOA system, real quick in and out on this guy. To open it up, the BOA is pretty awesome. And as you can see in there, there's a piece of green plastic in there. So you can move that up and down a little bit. It's just Velcroed in there. And this side BOA is going to crank that down and pull that down from the top of your foot to hold your heel in place with this boot. So the main thing there is to try to prevent heel lift, which is a really common problem with snowboard boots. You get a nice articulation on the cuff here, so as you're walking around and flexing the boot's not going to be distorting. And you get a Vibram sole on this guy. I don't know if how well you guys can see that, but Vibram is really popular in the hiking community. They make really high quality, durable, grippy soles. So you're going to get the Vibram sole on this. Fully customizable Intuition liner. So I definitely would recommend getting it heat molded if you get this boot, or just know that more volume is going to get created because it's a really dense foam that's going to mold to your foot over time, even just from the pressure and your body heat from snowboarding. And then the last thing on this boot, it's going to have endo construction, so that's going to make the spine really durable and help it to maintain its rigidity season after season for you guys. So really, really solid boot. I know that the ones that are on sale right now are going for around $210. There's still a ton of sizes available on Evo if you want to check that out. And as far as sizing it, if you guys aren't able to go into a snowboard shop, I would go to like a shoe store, get your foot measured to figure out exactly what size you measure to. And the K2 Maysis is going to do really well at the exact size you measure to. So I measured to a 9.5. I would be riding this boot in a 9.5. If you're over it, if you're over that size, I would say go ahead and go up to the next size, and you'll still be fine. But yeah, really, really great boot. I encourage you guys to check out that link in the description and check it out. You know, as I mentioned, I've helped out a ton of people with this boot. I've had nothing but positive feedback from it. It's been the top selling boot in Evo for a couple of years now, and I really like it as well. So I hope you guys check that out. Also have the Dragon X1s back here with that nice spherical lens there. You get that full reflection. I'm really excited to get on that, and with the LumaLens tech this year. So LumaLens is kind of like Oakley Prism or Smith Chroma Pop, all that type of stuff with the color optimization that's kind of been a trend in the goggle industry now. So like filtering out certain colors to try to maximize the visibility of contours and stuff in the snow. Marcos Castillo, X1 versus NFX. I'm going to be riding both this year. I don't know if you guys caught the Sports RX live stream on Tuesday last week, but the spherical lenses are supposed to be more optically correct, like not distorting the light as it's coming through the lens. You also get that really like perfect mirrored reflection on those guys, whereas the cylindrical lenses are going to be distorted. But I really like them both, man. I will say that the NFX is bigger than the X1. It's still the biggest goggle I found, so I like big, super big goggles, so I'm definitely going to continue to ride that one, but I'll be riding the X1 as well, no doubt. So just keep an eye out in the videos this season, and I'm sure you'll see it come up, man. All right, I saw a bunch of comments come through here. I'm going to scroll up a little bit and maybe get to some of these guys that passed by really quickly as I was talking here. So Kyle Butler asks, "Hey TJ, you're going to be riding only Vail Resorts this year? You're going to hit up Copper/Winter Park a little?" Right now, I just have the Epic. I'm trying to start a conversation with the guys over at Copper to get on a Copper pass, or at least get a few days out there and maybe get in the barn as well. I really, really would like to ride Copper. I think I said this last week. I would have gotten the Super Pass, the Copper Winter Park Pass this year if Vail didn't buy Whistler. But as you guys know, Kevin lives in Whistler and I live in Colorado, so we both got that pass. We can have unlimited days of riding together this year because of that. So I could not pass up that opportunity. I'm definitely going to be heading up to Whistler for a good amount of time this year, and but I'm still hoping to get out to Copper, man. I really, really like that mountain, so hopefully I will. We'll see. We'll see what they say. All right, Joseph Meyer said I missed a super chat from X Pantera. I thought I addressed that one. That name looks familiar. It may have just been a donation without a comment, but if you guys could leave that question, Joseph or X Pantera 13, I'll try to spot that as it's passing through and make sure I answer your question, man. I'm sorry about that. Greg Player, I think there needs to be a SnowboardProCamp forum because I can't keep up listening to the video and chatting at the same time. Awesome, man. Forum, it sounds a little complicated. Maybe I could get something up on Board Archive. That could be kind of cool. I've never really thought about that. I haven't been on forums in a long time. I feel like everything's all on like social media now, but I remember forums back in the day. And honestly, I used to work on my car a bunch in North Carolina, and there was this forum that helped me out so much. So yeah, maybe we'll get something like that going, but we'll still have to see how much work that entails. Or not work, but time, I should say. Yeah, X Pantera, dude. I'll scroll back up real quick to see about your comment if it's still there. If not, I will. Oh, here it is. It was just right there. Sorry, guys. So X Pantera 13 with the €5 super chat. Thank you, man. Hey TJ, what's up? I'm 5'8", 132 pounds. What board size should I get? Cheers from Greece. Cheers, man. Glad you could hop on from Greece. I know the time zones. I tried to have this at a time where it would work for a whole bunch of time zones. So glad to see you on here. So I'm going to assume you mean 5 feet 8 inches and 132 pounds. I would probably throw you in like the 149 to 151 range, depending on what you want to do. If you're looking for just a only free ride, like go super fast, something really stable, maybe you could size up closer to like a 54, 55. But unless you put on some pounds or you get a little bit taller, I really wouldn't recommend going much higher than that, man. So I hope that helps you out. Likewise, if you want to hit me up on Instagram at Board Archive, shoot me a DM. I'll keep an eye out for it over the next couple of days, and maybe I could even recommend some specific boards for you if you'd like. If you could tell me a little bit more about your riding style, what your goals are, and all that kind of stuff. Thanks for the super chat, man. I really appreciate it. I'm just going to quickly scroll up and make sure I didn't miss any others. And I think we're looking good. All right. If I did miss one, you guys let me know. I don't wanna not answer a super chat question, but with all the comments you guys are leaving today, it's a little hard to keep up. I'm not gonna lie. All right, so Shirzad Khan City with a $5 super chat. Thank you, man. Super chat's on point today. Thank you guys so much. We really, really appreciate it. So thoughts on the Ride Anthem boots for an intermediate rider. I would definitely highly recommend the Ride Lasso over the Ride Anthem. The Anthem's just more of an entry. It's not quite an entry-level boot, but it's pretty soft. You're not going to get nearly as many features in it as you will with the Lasso. The Lasso is actually very similar to the Maysis. So it's kind of funny. We were talking about the K2 Contour and the Ride Cadence earlier. Those are both women's boots. The men's equivalents of those guys is going to be the K2 Maysis and the Ride Lasso. So with the Lasso, you're gonna get the Vibram, you're gonna get the Michelin sole instead of the Vibram sole, and instead of that Conda system with the plastic, it actually just has a rigid tongue that the side boa is gonna pull back. So I think that would be a much better boot for you, man, and I don't think it's that much different of a price difference anyway. And I know that there is still a full size run available on evo.com of last year's, going for around 210, whereas the new boot is 300. So check that out, man. Size wise, similar to the K2. I think just get your foot measured and get the size that you measure to. If you're in between two sizes, go for the bigger size. But yeah, sick boot, man. I think that'll serve you really well. Thanks for the question. Hope that helps you out. All right. So Alex Burry asks, what's the best board for a mix of jibs and jumps? So, I mean, the DOA is a good do-it-all. You know, it's still flexy enough to get some presses. It's fun on rails and still sturdy enough for jumps. I know I've been referring back to those do-it-all boards a lot, but that's why I made that video, because you guys ask questions that point towards those boards. You just want a board that's going to do it all. So I think, you know, decide whether you want to do more jumps or more jibs. If it's going to be like 50-50, I'd, you know, go for that do-it-all style board. But if you're going to go for something, you know, if you're a little more jib focused, you could go for a softer board like the Ultra Fear. Is still pretty versatile, but a little bit more jib focused versus the DOA. You could look at like the Battalion Disaster or the Fun Kink, a little bit softer, more jib oriented versus the Sender or the whatever. So that's kind of my thought process there. And if you're looking for, you know, something that's going to be more jump oriented, the Ride Helix is a solid, really solid jump board. I think the Evil Twin. The Evil Twin is still kind of like a do-it-all freestyle board. It's still going to be a lot of fun on the jibs, but it's going to have that stability you want on jumps. So that's kind of my initial thoughts. Hope that helps you out. Check those boards out, and throughout this month we will have more content targeted towards those questions for you guys. So I really hope you guys check that out. We got a lot of good stuff still coming this month. I'm hyped. All right. Zaid Ruse asks, looking for a medium stiff double boa boot as I'm thinking of moving from laces. Can you make recommendations for intermediate riding? Great question, man. So the double boa boots, they're a little bit more rare versus the single boa, and they tend to be a little bit higher end, so they tend to be fairly rigid. I wouldn't, so I know DC makes a couple of double boa boots. I wouldn't really recommend those. The K2 Thraxis comes to mind, although that's a pretty aggressive boot. Man, I'll have to do some research and get back to you, man. I don't have too big of an inventory of double boas up here, so maybe I can research that this week, and if you want to hop on next Monday and ask that question again, I'll have some better answers for you, man. I'm sorry about that. All right. Danny Akey. Hey TJ, this is Dan from Lebanon. What's up, man? Good to see you on here. Can you give me some recommendations about snowboarding destinations? It's my second year snowboarding. Colorado, definitely a great location. Just it's a mecca here. Tons of resorts to choose from, all within a very close distance. So I really like, I would say if you're coming out here, hit like Vail or Beaver Creek if you want to avoid crowds. If you're going for the Vail Resort side, Keystone and Breckenridge are a ton of fun, but they tend to be a little bit more crowded versus some of the other Vail resorts. Copper's another great destination here in Colorado. I think Park City Canyons is a lot of fun over in Utah. I did a couple trips out there, really enjoyed it. Mount Bachelor in Oregon is a really sick mountain. Whistler obviously is going to be a killer destination. So those are some places that I've been that I've really enjoyed. I think Washington is also going to have some really good snow up there if you wanted to ride like Baker or something like that. But there's a lot of really good options here in the States. Not too familiar with destinations outside of the States, but hope that helps you out, man. I hope you have a great season. If you make it out to Colorado, hit me up, and maybe we can get some laps in or something. The best place to hit me up is probably on Instagram, either just leaving a comment. That's probably the best way to get a quick response, or you can shoot me a DM. But I pretty consistently have about 30 unread DMs, so it's tough to get through it. But I try to get to you guys' questions quickly. And then the emails is still just a mess, man. I'm trying to get to the emails, but you guys bombard me with questions, so I have to prioritize. Joseph Taranto. Hey TJ, what is that dope math equation picture behind you? So that's just a photo of Albert Einstein. A friend of mine gave it to me as a birthday gift one year, and I just like to have it on the wall. I think so. If you guys don't know, I have a background in mathematics. I actually have a degree in mathematics. Graduated in 2013 with that, and I really love math, and I think it's just incredible how well it's able to describe the physical world around us. It's kind of mind-blowing once you are intimate with those equations and you understand the things you can predict. Especially if you start studying physics and thermodynamics and just all the crazy stuff that they've figured out, and you can literally calculate how things are going to work. I don't know if it's a coincidence or what the deal is, but I'm just really fascinated by it. Einstein is obviously a huge guy in that field. Newton is another huge inspiration of mine. Did you know that Isaac Newton invented calculus when he was 23 years old? That's crazy, man. So mad respect for those guys. And yeah, I'm glad you asked. No one's ever asked me about that yet. All right. Patrick Murray, do you recommend buying boards that aren't manufactured at Mervin? So Mervin makes Libtech and GNU. I think that Libtech and GNU are both really solid brands. I wouldn't say stay away from them by any means. I think they're actually really high quality snowboards. And they're made here in the US, handmade. There's actually a sticker on every board with a signature that tells you who in the warehouse made the board. So I think they're sick, man. Yeah. All the brands that I talk about, obviously with the reviews, there's some boards I'm more partial to than others, but I'm hoping that with the reviews and stuff, that's kind of giving you guys an idea of the tech, what tech works in what way, what kind of things in a snowboard result in what kind of feel when you're on the board. That's kind of a big goal of mine with this whole board archive thing and all the written reviews and stuff. So I'm hoping as you guys read the reviews, if you are, I hope you are, in the videos, that you're kind of getting a full, well-rounded picture of how snowboard tech relates to how a snowboard rides, and that just having that understanding can really help you choose your next board. All right, Saul Goodman, Numberphile. Super cool YouTube channel if you guys are interested in mathematics or just weird math facts. There's a lot of interesting videos over there on Numberphile. I believe it's a guy from the UK. Really popular channel. I've watched a ton of their videos. They got a lot of cool stuff on there. Check that out. So Dallas Boot, TJ, you should get together with Jonathan Buckhouse this year. He's a YouTuber from Silverthorne as well. Super nice guy. I met him at Keystone last year. I would be down to ride with him, maybe do a crossover or something with him. I don't know if he's going to be out there doing the daily vlogs again this year, but if I see him, I'm down to be friends with anybody basically. So yeah, that could be fun. All right, 10-pound super chat from Lucifer Morningstar. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. I know if that is pounds, that's a pretty significant bump up from the US dollar right now. So thank you so much, man. Really appreciate the donation. You and SnowboardProCamp have created a great worldwide community here. I'm glad to be a part of it. Your voice is fine, by the way. Everyone hates the sound of their own voice. I know it, man. Much love from the UK. Thanks so much, dude. You're on like every live chat. I see you all over the place. I appreciate you, dude. I'm glad you're a part of it as well. And just thanks so much for that super chat, man. So before I started doing all these videos, I actually worked in a call center. So every week I was having to listen to myself talk and like figure out how to talk better and like sound more confident and stuff. And I think that's honestly helped me out a bunch with the snowboard reviews, which is kind of weird. Never would have thought that job would have helped me with my snowboarding. But yeah, I'm very over hearing my own voice. But I'm definitely used to it by now. But it's still, like you said, everyone thinks their own voice sounds weird. Thanks for the super chat, man. You the man. All right. Math 1077 asks, when's the best time during the season to head out to Colorado? Reppin' Dirty Jersey. I think like January, February, if you're looking for powder, those are typically the best months as far as like snowpack, getting storms coming through, having, the majority of the mountains open. March sometimes is a lot of fun as well. Tends to be a little bit busier with spring break and stuff. A lot of tourists coming through. But we sometimes get some really nice fun storms in March too. But I will say, if you're able to come January or February and swing it where you can ride during the week, even if you go to Keystone or Breckenridge or the really popular resorts, you're going to be able to avoid those crowds. So that's probably what I would recommend. I think January, February would probably be like the top 2 months to come. And then obviously, like the late season, like April, if you're looking for that spring riding with the slushy corn snow and still having an epic world-class park available to you, that can be a really fun month as well. All right, just had to block someone. You guys, you gotta keep things related to snowboarding in the chat, guys. Come on. All right, Habib Cisse asks, detuning edges, question mark. Great question, man. So I think if you are going to detune your edges, maybe just right on the tips on the contact point if you want it to be a little less hooky, or if it's going to be like a freestyle detune, just in between the bindings. But just so you guys know, personally, I do not detune my snowboards whatsoever anymore. I ride factory sharp edges. I think that it allows you to have much stronger grip and edge hold as you're carving around. Even if you're on ice, if you don't have additional contact points, if you have those edges tuned up really sharp, you're still going to be just fine going over that harder terrain with some solid grip. And I don't find it especially catchy or anything on rails. I used to be really scared of getting burrs into rails with those sharp edges and just like getting thrown onto my face. But every single review video that's on the channel is just a factory, or not, I don't know about every single one, but the vast majority is just factory sharp edges. So that's kind of my philosophy now. I think that works the best. So take it with a grain of salt. Detuning your edges is totally cool. I say it's definitely more common in park boards, just detuning between the feet there. But yeah, hope that helps you out, man. All right, guys, I wasn't planning on going, keeping the live stream going for this long today. We're already at almost 1 hour, but it's just fun talking with you guys, and you guys have such good questions. You guys you're killing it with the questions lately. So we'll keep this going for a few more minutes and then get to a couple more questions, and then we'll wrap it up here. All right, Courtney McClure asks, are there any good stiff bindings for women, or is it a better idea to get a pair of men's bindings instead? Hey from Nashville. Awesome. What's up, Courtney? Glad you could hop on here. So I think that the Union Trilogy is a really great women's binding that's a little bit more free ride, kind of all mountain focused. It's going to be the women's equivalent of the Union Force. It actually looks really similar as well, and it comes in some really cool colorways. I think it's right around $200, so it's not going to be breaking the bank. Get a lot of good performance out of that guy. That's kind of the top binding that comes to mind initially. The Arbor Sequoia would be another really good one to check out. I really like what Arbor is doing this year. It's their second year making bindings, and you're going to get basically all the same tech. You know what? I would say the Arbor Sequoia more than the Force, actually, because with the Sequoia, you're still going to get the adjustable heel cup, but you're going to get a mini disc base plate on that guy, and you're going to get a 3D molded heel strap. The Trilogy doesn't have that, but they're both really great bindings. Recommend checking them out. Maybe you can find one on sale on Evo or something. But yeah, thanks for the question. I'm glad to see more of you women snowboarders on the live chats asking some questions about the women specific gear, because I'm pretty familiar with a lot of that stuff too, and I'm happy to talk about it. Definitely going to be incorporating women's stuff into the videos this year. Just, I'll be riding the men's board, but I'll let you know what women's board is going to be kind of the equivalent. So thanks for the question, Courtney. Hope that helps you out. I think the Sequoia would be really sick, or if that's a little too pricey, maybe check out the Force, or not the Force, the Trilogy. All right. Tobias, any particular binding that would fit people with larger feet, like 13 plus? I mean, if you're above a 13, it's just starts to get hard to find stuff. I think Arbor bindings would be worth checking out. I know we were just talking about them, but Arbor, so if you took all the snowboard boots that people bought in a given year, and you made a bell curve, you standardized it in a bell curve. The median boot size used to be a size 9, but that has changed, and now the median boot size is a size 10. So most bindings, the medium binding is going to be based around a size 9 as their basic adjustment, and then you can make it smaller to a size 8 or bigger to a size 10, and then you step up to the large binding. For Arbor, they based their medium around a size 10, so that's why I say you might want to check them out. The Arbor Cypress would probably be a good binding for you. All right. So Greg Player asks, hey TJ, with your new 32s, did you buy a true size or did you up or down a half size? As I'd like to get some TM3s, but my local shop doesn't stock them for me to try out before I buy. Great question, man. So I will have a detailed, like a comprehensive, it's 2 videos. There's going to be a comprehensive first look and then a comprehensive review on the TM3, or at least that's what I'm hoping to do this year. And so in those videos, I will make sure to talk about sizing. Personally, like I said, I measured to a 9.5. With 32, I do bump up a half size to a 10. So I think you'd be pretty safe if you did that. You'd kind of be like walking the line between that performance fit and that comfort fit. But I think you'd be really happy with the half size up. That's what I bought, but I haven't heat molded them or anything yet. So I'm gonna see if I can sneak into a 9.5. I'll let you guys know. So keep your eyes peeled for those videos. I'm really excited to get some content out on the TM3. So I'm gonna get these top 5 videos done first, just because I think that's gonna really provide the most value for you guys, and then we'll get on to the videos for the Maysis and the TM3 and some of the other stuff, the Expedition, the Volet Universal bindings, all kinds of good stuff coming up. So all right guys, we just broke the 1 hour mark here on the live stream today. Gonna call it here in just a couple of minutes. Let's get 1 or 2 more questions. If you guys want to drop some questions down on the comments so they're showing up fresh on the bottom for me, I'll try to answer some recent questions for the last few. We got Sport RX on the live chat. What's up, guys? Glad you guys could hop on. Make sure to check out their channel if you haven't. A lot of great content on goggles and helmets and stuff. Also, the live chat they did, or the live stream they did last week, really informative. And actually, you guys answered one of my questions live. I think I asked about the what's your opinion on the Dragon Transitions lens, and it was really cool to kind of have that live interaction where you're just like, it's like you're talking to me just because of a comment I left. I thought that was really cool. So kind of getting that experience you guys are having with the live streams. I totally get it. A lot of fun. And yeah, while you guys are still on here, if you guys could give the video a quick thumbs up, it really helps. I get a little bit more exposure, help more people find it, and maybe get answers to some of their questions that I answered for you guys. So yeah, thank you guys so much for all your questions. Let's get to a couple more here. All right. So, Phil Shack, tell us about the War Pig, TJ. I've hung in since you started. Awesome, man. I'm glad you're here for the whole stream. That's sick, dude. Thank you so much. Literally hanging out the whole time. That's what's up. So definitely you're going to get the most info if you check out the video review and the written review. Put a lot of time into creating that stuff for you. But I did mess up in the video review. I know. I'm sorry, guys. I said one thing wrong. It actually does not have a setback stance. The stance on the War Pig is centered within the side cut. So that's why it rides exactly the same in both directions. But outside the contact points, it's going to have a way, way longer nose. So it has a very directional looking shape and a shorter tail. So it's also going to be a really, really wide board. It's got that volume shifted tech going on with it. So this is a 154 with a 27 centimeter waist width. So as you can see, the heel cup is like barely over the end of the board. I can literally fit my boots completely within the sides of the board. So it's going to be a ton of fun for carving. Really, I should be on the 48, but I decided to get the 54 just so I could have that super ridiculously wide snowboard and play around with some carves for you guys. Really fun mid-flexing board. Honestly, it was a contender for the do-it-all snowboard list, but I decided that it would fit a little bit better somewhere else. So if you're looking for something fun and surfy, capable of doing it all, really good for carving, gonna float well in powder, can still take it in the park, check out the War Pig. This thing is sick. All right, we got Nadine P. Try asking, hey TJ, I want to get into butters this season, riding a bit of a bigger board compared to your height. Should I set my EST bindings a bit wider to make it easier, or does it even matter? Great question. So honestly, for freestyle, like riding like butters and doing that type of stuff, I prefer a bit more of a narrow stance. So I'm 5'10", and my preferred stance is 21.5 inches wide. For like free ride style of riding, I might widen that up a little bit, closer to like 22 or 22.5. But the 21.5 feels like right on the money for me. So honestly though, it's not going to make that big of a difference. A narrower stance is going to give you a little bit more leverage to press out that board, just because your binding is set back a little bit more. You have a little bit more nose. But yeah, thank you for the question. If you are by chance, you said your board is a little big for your height. If you're looking for another board and you're looking for something that's going to be good for butters, check out the video that I am uploading tomorrow on the top 5 butter snowboards. But check out Battalion. In the Do It All Snowboards video, I mentioned the Battalion push-up. I think that could be a good option for you. That's going to be a really well-rounded one. The 3BT, it just takes buttering to the next level, making it insanely catch-free. But if you're looking for something a little bit softer, there are some softer boards on the line as well. So keep your eyes peeled, and I think the Feel Better, I think, was a little bit softer than the push-up. So hope that helps you out, and thank you for the question. Like I said, I like talking about the women's specific gear a little bit when I get the chance. It's not too common. Most of the questions are coming from guys, which is fine. That's just kind of the nature of the industry, but appreciate the question. All right, Phil Shack, 10-pound super chat. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much, guys. The super chats have been blowing up today. I really, really appreciate it. As I mentioned, all the donations help support the channel, help us with our equipment, and just all the time that we put into this, just helping to recoup, all of our expenses we put into this content for you guys. So really, really appreciate it. So Phil Shack says, keep up the good work, guys. Your videos are awesome and a lot of fun to watch. Thank you, man. I appreciate the kind words. yeah, I don't know. I don't know what else to say, but just thank you so much, guys. I'm kind of blown away at all the support that we get, and it's all for you guys. And I love it, and yeah, we're here for you. If it wasn't for you guys, we wouldn't be doing this. So thank you so much. All right. Let's find one more question here. All right, two more questions. So Thad Nil asks, hey TJ, about your snowboard, is it a rocker, camber, or a hybrid? And what is the flex of your board? So if you're talking about the Evil Twin, I would say it's right around a 5 out of 10 flex. It's a full camber from tip to tip snowboard, which is my preference. Although, and I just prefer camber dominant boards in general, but if I can find a true camber, definitely am a big fan of that, which all battalion boards are true camber. I guess, oh yeah, that was it. It was just the flex in the camber. So yeah, we're looking at like a 5 out of 10 flex and a true regular camber with that 3BT, man. But I personally prefer true camber. Even for you beginners out there, I know most people are going to recommend a rocker board, but if you're into it, you're in it for the long haul, just go ahead and get that camber board. If you get a battalion, you'll still get that catch-free feeling from the 3BT. I'm a big advocate of it. You can definitely still learn on camber if you're a beginner, and you'll hear Kevin say the same thing, and he has taught hundreds of people or more how to snowboard. So yeah. All right, there was one other question, but you guys are just killing it with the comments, so it's kind of floated up now. Maybe I'll have to find another one here. Oh, nope, here it is. Okay. Marcos Castillo asks, hey TJ, are you into all these crazy and fun shapes the snowboard companies are putting out now? Yeah. Yeah, I think they're a lot of fun, man. And honestly, there were so many years where the companies were just putting out the generic popsicle stick shape, which works, but there's so many funky tip and tail shapes now. Like Arbor is like really big into it with their like Arbor Zygote, the Arbor Clovis, both really funky looking snowboards, but they're actually still true twins between the contact points, which is kind of cool. You got K2 with their volume shifted technology doing the Enjoyer series. You got Never Summer doing the Instigator series. You got Ride with the War Pig. You got Jones doing all kinds of crazy stuff. They got the Mind Expander new board coming out this year. You got the Storm Chaser. Capita with the Slush Slasher. There's so many of these weird shapes out now, and I love it, man. I think if you're the type of rider where you're looking to just have one snowboard and that's all you got, you're riding 10, 20 days a year and one snowboard is enough. Maybe something like the War Pig or something really versatile could still work well for you. But for the most part, I would say that these weird shapes is going to be like an add-on board. So you have your twin or your mountain twin already, your do-it-all board, your go-to daily driver. You're looking for something that's going to be different, kind of fun, kind of surfy, just kind of like you're going out there, you're just going to be having a good time. You're not worried about doing really technical stuff. That's when I would say these boards are really going to be the most fun. So I hope that helps you out, man. All right, guys. Well, I am going to go ahead and call it here. We're right at 1 hour and 12 minutes. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Make sure to check the description. I'm going to have links down there going to a bunch of the gear that we talked about on the live stream today, as well as my personal gear for you. We got all the written reviews and the videos on the website, boardarchive.com. You can also hit me up on Instagram at boardarchive. Make sure you smash that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. Thank you guys so much for hopping on here. It's been a lot of fun chatting with you. I don't know if you can tell, but I definitely enjoy it. I have a lot of fun chatting with you guys. So thank you for coming to hang out, and I will see you guys next Monday, 2 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Kevin will be back Friday, 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, so make sure to check out all the live streams. Thanks for the love, guys. I appreciate you. Hope you have a great rest of your day. I'll see you guys later.